Hi, I am K. Prakash. In the last lecture series, we discussed about the role of mechanical engineers in the day-to-day life and in the industries and in the globally what we are doing. Now we are going to see about the manufacturing process. So as we discussed in the earlier videos, so what are the different manufacturing processes? Have any idea about the manufacturing process? So I will tell you. There are three types of manufacturing process. One is metal removal process, another one is metal joining process and metal forming process. So these are the three types of manufacturing process, basically what we are doing. Okay. So what is metal removing process? Okay. If you want to make a product like this, okay, so this is the required piece with our some dimensions. So if you take this a rectangular piece, this is has a length and this has a breadth. So this length and the breadth of the required shape will not be available in the market. Okay. So the raw material can be purchased, and then we want to make to this required shape. Okay. To make this required shape, what we can do is we can go for any metal removing process. Okay. We can go for an shaping machines or lathe or any machines. We can go there. We can remove the excess material and we can create a shape. Okay. Do you know what is meant by lathe? The shaping machines and lathe. Okay. What in the lathe we are doing?
Removing the material by reciprocal.
Removing the material by rotary motion in case of lathe. In lathe, in the chuck we are using. In the chuck we are holding the workpiece.
Multiple operations.
Multiple operation can be done. And here is the shaping machine where the tool is moving forward and backwards, and the excess material is removed. Okay. Like this process called as metal removing process. Okay. And next coming to the metal forming process. Okay. Coimbatore is a hub of industries. What type of industries is there? Pump industries. Okay. So what are the products manufactured for the pump industries? Any products there? Products, huh? Motor and then other products. In the what are the comes in the pumps? Cylinder we are making, impeller, casing, everything we are making. Okay. So what is the need? Okay. As coming to our design thinking, what is the first part? Empathy. Okay. So if you have any problem in the existing, we are going to switch on into the next one. Okay. So what is my question is, in case of the metal removing process, if the workpiece is very complicated, okay, so what happens is we want to go for a different manufacturing process, because we are getting this raw material using some profit by a required cost. Okay. So when the excess metal is removed, what happens is the cost will go off to the as a waste. Okay. The profit which will be going economic. Okay. So the excess material is getting wasted, so we are going for a different process. So the metal forming process in the foundry industries. Okay, what we are doing is the required shape is made as a pattern by using any wood material, anything. Okay. So when we are going for the foundry is if there is for lot of production, if we are going for a production in large scale and mass productions. In mass productions, what happens is we want to make many products. So here what happens is excess material is getting wasted. But when we are going for the metal forming process, what happens is the material wastage is reduced. So the shape which is called as a mold is created, and then the material which we can use is melted and then it is poured to get the required shape. So this is one type of manufacturing process. Coming to the third one, we are going for welding. Okay. So two metals and two things can be joined. If we take our steel tables, chairs, okay, and everything is used by welding process. Okay. And if you take this same sheet metal, okay, so this is a required thing. Here welding plays an important role. We can use soldering, brazing, like this metal joining process there. Okay. So these are all some of the manufacturing processes available. Okay. So now we have had a discussion based on the three processes where we are using the metal removal process. Can you tell me real time examples?
So for lathe,
Where we are using lathes?
so in the olden days, for alloy wheels we have.
Okay. See what this point of view is. The wheels we are using alloy wheels. Okay. Here there we want to make some parts. So we are going for a lathe. So in the lathe there is a 3-jar chuck and a 4-jar chuck. What is the difference between the 3-jar chuck and a 4-jar chuck?
So only
Center itself, sir.
Very good. In a 3-jar chuck it can be centered by itself. Okay.
So equipments to center.
So why we are going for 3-jar and 4-jar?
so size and dimensions.
Size and dimensions?
So we need to expand this also.
So if the size is uniform, we can to hold it in a 3-jar chuck. It is called as a self-centered. Whereas if we go for a 4-jar chuck, what happens is some irregular objects will be there. Okay, so that can be kept and can be centered. Okay, so this is about the manufacturing process. Thank you.